it's Karen from Liongate Farm, and today I am going to teach you how to make these cute little gnomes. They're attached. They're the love gnomes. They're attached at their hats. They're pretty fun. You know how to make gnomes. Now I'm going to show you how to attach them to each other. So today we are making love gnomes. Aren't they the cutest thing ever? They're attached. They do not come apart. They don't untwist. They don't come apart. I'm going to show you how to do this fancy little thing. We're going to make a little girl and a little boy. And there are kits for this. The kits are kind of build your own. When you get the kit, the two bottom colors will never change. That part doesn't change. You get to pick the hat colors. And then I give you the various pieces that go on whatever color you pick. So right now we are going to make purple. I'm going to show you what happens if you pick purple. But you can specify dark purple, light purple. You'll see when it goes live on the website that you have many options. Okay, so let's start. I'll go through what you need. I'm going to put these to the side. I know you can't see them while I'm working. So first of all, excuse my hands. I've been working in the gardens and they're banged up. So we're going to use pipe insulation today. This little skinny, because it's way skinnier than pool noodles. I'm using Parma Violet and Lavender together. So one's a girl, one's a boy. The bottom color is always either sombrero or sunflower. The little girl one has some, just because she doesn't have a beard, I put some green locks around her base. Obviously, Blueface Leicester locks for the boy beard. And then I'm testing out another option of using roving for her braids, but today we're going to use this light yellow BFL for the girl's hair. Core wool roving, and then core wool batting, two different ones. And then 4 wires, and these are 26 inches long. You need 4 of them. And then various ribbons and little finishing touches. So let's get started. And this is going to be a long video, I'm sorry. But it takes a minute to make 2 gnomes and then hook them together. So just like on the flower fairy house, we're going to run our wire through there. Go down at least a ½ inch. Of course, I use a bent end and it doesn't go through. So go through, just run it through 1 wire first. This is similar to making the flower fairy house. And then you're going to come up and find center. And don't do anything yet, just find the center and kind of bend it up. So that's one wire. And then take another one. And this wire, this little cheat thing that we're doing right here, this just makes things go way faster for you. You know, I'm a big fan of work smarter, not harder. Again, find center or close to center and just bring them up. And then when you get up here, just give them a little twist right there. Just a little twist. And then leave these sit here, this end. Just a little twist there. And you know, we're going to take some of the wool, my loose wool core batting. I got a new batch in, so if anybody gets it, you got to tell me how you like it. It's pretty cool. And I'm just making a wad out of it. And then I'm going to give it some stabs. So this wad doesn't want to stay. So I'm going to take a piece of the roving and just wrap it around. Probably because I'm being in a hurry and being in a hurry and trying to go fast. I didn't give it enough stabs. All right. This piece goes in here, and that's going to support your hat wires. Okay, that's going to support that. And what we're going to do next, take some of this core batting, And we're going to start down here. Don't go past the bottom if you can help it. This is a little awkward because the whole thing doesn't fit in the frame of the video. I know. I'll try and keep it on the pad as much as I can. So wrap that a little bit tight. Come up here, and now I want you to secure it into this middle section. So remember, when you're working with the pool noodles, stabbing it into the, or the pipe insulation. And the only reason we're using pipe insulation is because it's littler. If you're stabbing into this, it sounds really cool. Does nothing. In order to secure the wool on the base, you need to stab sideways into itself. As you can see, it's slipped down, so we're going to secure this up a little bit. I just don't want it to slip off. That's why I'm securing this. So then we're going to take some more of our core. Now I'm going to split this a bit, and I'm going to tack it. Everything's so long. Don't worry, it will get shorter once we make it, once we connect the two. And I'm going to secure it to this middle part. The reason we put that in the middle is so it doesn't collapse. And again, the wires just give you a shape, and they allow you to bend it around. I'm using 18 gauge wire in this. There'll be 18 gauge in the kit. You could use 16 gauge if you wanted. It's a little bit overkill. So I really want this piece to stay where it's at. That's why I'm felting it. I'm not in the, that's the foam. Foam is 2 inches tall. It's a 2-inch piece that I cut. You don't really need to go any bigger than that. Again, I secure it, and I'm going to wrap my way up. And you can see I'm getting narrower and narrower as I go up. Just like the flower fairy house. I don't know if you remember me posting, but I posted a gnome I made out of a practice fairy house. I did a red, white, and blue gnome. And that's what got me thinking about this. But it was so big. I didn't want it that big. And then I was playing with the wires, and I thought, I wonder if I can make them connect. You can see all I'm doing is stabbing this in, making it smooth. What I'm looking for is the gnome hat shape. The smoother your underneath is, your base, the smoother your finished product will be. Now, as we get up here towards the top, our goal, so I'm going to connect this. Remember, you're stabbing around wire. Easy way to break needles. See how this came untwisted? It doesn't really matter at this point because we're not going to go all the way. We're only going to go to the twist and come back. You're going to leave that bare. Doesn't matter if your wires, you'll get bent out of shape while you're doing this, as long as you maintain your descending angle to the top. Did you hear that? Wonder what that was.
It's kind of windy outside.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hope nobody lights a match.
We don't need any more fires.
We do not need fires. If you go to this app called Watch Duty, which is really cool all over the United States, you can see the fires. And if you look at Oregon, the question really is, what is not on fire? We are not on fire. It's fantastic. But it is smoky outside. We get a lot of smoke drift. So basically, I'm just trying to make this a smooth cone. And I'm pretty much there. So then we say, okay, what color I'm using? This is going to be the boy gnome. So I'm going to put that with the sombrero. This will use the sunflower on the girl gnome. So we'll do her first. Sunflower is a cool color. It's one of my favorites. I keep hooking that pile. So I'm just going to take it and stretch it out and then tear it off when I get. Your goal here is not to make it too much thicker. Let's just poke this up into the core. And remember, your foam only goes to there, so that's about how big the body is. They're only 2 inches. And I didn't tear off enough. I'll just add another piece. Now, if you are stabbing towards the foam, you'll be stabbing into the core as well. But sideways is your best bet. Do this piece here. Whoops. These wires are a pain with all this stuff around. I just fling the flower onto the floor, but I'll get it when we need it. So we're just going to stab this. This takes a little bit of time. Get this nice and smooth because I'm stabbing sideways. I'm still going straight in, straight out. But I'm not stabbing into the foam. I'm stabbing into the core and into itself. And I'm rolling it as I do it, and that will tighten it up. You can see I have a little. It's starting to push itself. Just like when you're wet felting, you can feel things start to shrink. And you can spend as much time on this as you want. If you wrapped it nice and tight, you shouldn't have to do much. But it is a good idea to get it adhered to the core core layer. And you can hear that it's starting to felt down. That's the foam, this is the wool. It's just a satisfying sound. But we have a problem, Houston, so we're going to come down here and push it back up. So basically you want to felt two different sideways. You want to felt around and then you want to felt up. I haven't figured out what I'm going to put on the bottom of mine yet. I haven't put anything, but I do know that they make these little wood discs. It would be nice to glue them on and cover this up. Or you can put a little bit of wool. I just haven't done anything yet. You can see that this is starting to felt to itself. I am almost ready to start her hat color. And then I'm going to use this light lavender for her hat. Everybody likes purple. I just have this little piece here. I'm just going to add it. Now remember, your job is just to cover the core. Don't worry about this edge because we're right here. This doesn't need to be super smooth because we are going to attach a brim there after we put the hair on. Holy cow, my pumpkin color has been out of stock for so long. I'm finally getting it back in. Should be here in the next 4 or 5 days. I'm very excited about that. It's pumpkin season. Oh, and then the other good news is snow. The color snow that comes as bats now comes as sliver like this. So it will come as a roving form. Super excited about that. Let's hope it felts as well. So now I am going to secure this piece. And you know what I'm going to say next. If you wrap it tight and you go on a little angle, okay, don't get all crazy though. So like as you go up, just start to secure it here and there. I'm finding that the base of these takes less than 1/4 ounce, but sometimes the hat is taking up to 1/2 ounce of color. Isn't today the 24th, Cannon?
Yes.
So how many more days of our contest do we have?
7 days.
So today is July 24th. So if you haven't already gone to liongate.org and clicked on the contest link, if you haven't done it, go do it. Unless you've already done it. Because if you've already done it, don't do it again. Because you only get entered one time. Only one entry counts. So entering 25 times does not give you another entry. And you have to also be following our YouTube channel. So make sure to go do both of those. Like our YouTube channel, follow it. Because that really helps us out. And as a bonus, you can win something. This month's prize is a grab bag of fibers. It's going to have various fun stuff in it. I try to make these prizes worth your while. You can see I stopped wrapping just to go down and make this smooth. I can also see where I need to put a little bit more fiber, but not quite yet. So as you can see, as I'm wrapping tighter, you can see where the core was not super tight. That's okay. The wrapping is taking care of it. This is some DHG fiber. Felt really well. Since I had a bare spot there, I'm just going to start there. So if you're wrapping up on an angle, it should naturally go up as it gets thinner. We still want to maintain this thinness. And if I can see it start to slip, I'll stop and tack it. And yes, I'm felting in the air. You are welcome to work on your wool pad, which I would be doing if I could bend my neck down. It's kind of mad at me today, so I'm up in the air. We're only going to go to where that wire is. I mean, you could go like that much further. You need to leave these, you need to leave those alone. That's where we're going to connect the two dudes. Well, the dudette and the dude. I'm using 38 star spirals in my pen tool. I make short work of this tacking business. Okay, so now we're just going to stop thinking about this part. I will come back and make this all smooth in a bit, but not quite yet. I'm just going to show you the basics. And now you see we have a blank spot there, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. Right here, I'm not going to worry about that. So now I have to think about where her nose is going to go. Here it is. So this is Hollyhock. It's my favorite skin tone color that I have. Whoops. I'm just throwing everything on the floor today. I'll get that in a minute. All right, so I just wrapped a little pillow. I'm going to fold the edges in, fold the edge in, and I'm going to put it right there, holding with my finger, and I am going to poke sideways into the fiber that's there, an oval shape. This is the nose. There's no template for this one. Trying to figure out if I need one. Don't think we do. This is pretty straightforward, but I might make one. So I've been working on a different way to do the hair for the girl other than the locks. I'm going to demo you the locks. Hey, Kenna, hand me the other one. But if you don't have locks and you're not going to order them, I was playing with roving attaching some roving. And then I divided it into 3 and I made braids, which is just as cute. But I'm going to show you the locks today, but you can use roving. I was using the catkin color on that. All right, so I have these locks, and I'm going to find some nice long ones. And what I found for the first one is I used about 2 locks for each braid. So I'm going to attach 2 locks there. I think I liked the locks better because I was able to go around the back of her head with just hair. So she has, and then I'm going to do 2 more. It's a nice long one. Stuart the cat is begging Cannon for his lap. And it's not working. I can hear him purring all the way over here. Stuart is getting very old. He was born in 2010. So he's 14. Sometimes he goes on Stuartcation and I get really worried that something happened to him. He's just out visiting the neighborhood usually. Okay, so then we're just going to braid it. Hopefully you all know how to braid. Braid, braid. And you see why regular fiber works. But I like these braids better. So in the kit, you're going to get dyed yellow locks because that's just what I like, unless you specify that you want roving. So I'm going all the way down. And they're going to be longer than she is tall, and that's okay. So then when I get to where I want them, I'm going to tack them. I'm not tacking them to the body, I'm tacking them to themselves. And I did. So this is where you'll need a piece of ribbon. It's where you get to practice tying tiny bows. This is like a 1/4 inch ribbon. See, that bow to me is too big. So we're going to smaller, smaller, and then we're going to cut it. And then I'm going to take, so since these locks are long, I don't want her hair in the back to be super long. I'm just adding some bits, just so that there's some color back here. Girl gnomes don't have beards, so we got to give them something else. Basically, I'm just folding them in half, tacking it down up here along the hat line. I'm going to go till I get to here, and then I'll make another braid. We have to make her interesting somehow. I have a friend that makes girl gnomes, and she has it all perfected. Her flower gnomes. It's pretty amazing. Okay, that's a long lock. I'm going to hold on to that. And that's a good long one because we have to make another braid. That's a little shorty. Let's just put that right there. this is a girl gnome with a wonky haircut, because if she took her braids out, the front hair is going to be longer than the back hair. Okay, so now we'll attach our long locks again. There's one. This one can go with that one. I know y'all know how to make gnomes already. So basically that's what we're doing, is making gnomes, but I'm going to attach them. First time I did them all as one piece, and I thought that might be a little bit too hard. Or gangly is a better word, because while you're wrapping the one, the other one would get in the way. Okay, and then we need our ribbon. Well, let's tack it. Then we can let go of it. I often will leave it tacked. I get my ribbon in there. Tie bows however you tie them. I almost lost that one. Just make sure you tie it tight so it'll stay. You can always put a dab of glue behind it, so this shiny stuff doesn't. Okay, so now we have hair. We have her little hairs. Oh my gosh. Okay, the next thing we need to do is make the brim of her hat. So I'm going to move the yellow out of the way. I'm going to move this color out of the way. All right, now we've got her braids, we got her hair, and now we're going to make the brim of her hat. So what I want you to do, I don't want to use too much, so I'm going to split that in half, because we can always add, but we can't take away. So I'm going to figure out how much I need to go around her head. I need about that much. There's no scientific, because it's all dependent upon how wide you made your gnome. So I'm going to spread this out a little bit. And then I'm going to take some more and lay it opposite direction, just little pieces. This is going to be like glue. This is wool glue. This is going to help us felt this quickly. Because, you know, wool, it's just putting some fibers in the opposite direction. And I have my multi-tool that has 7 needles in it. And we're just going to do this, get this all combined. This tool makes such short work of flat work. Even though they're fine needles, you just got 7 going at one time. I've seen people tape them together, which is kind of funny. So, no, we're not done. We're just flipping it over. But this time, let's just do it one more time. It's a little brown piece of something. It's actually cool outside today. It's 90, 94. That's cool. So now I'm just going to draw a line, and that's what I want you to do because it will make it easier. And you're going to use that line to flip this up. flip this up. This is going to be the edge of our brim. This is going to be loose. So all of our felting is going to occur along this edge currently, because you want to leave this kind of loose up here to attach it to her hat. And we can use our tool again, now that we flipped it up. And we're going to do this, flip it over. We have our little brim. You can keep going, but I don't find a need to felt it a super lot. So you want the hat brim to come down halfway over her nose, come around the back. Remember that bare spot I had? Oh, it's magically disappearing with our hat brim. And just overlap these. That we'll felt that in, so it will disappear where they overlap. Just do a little felty, and it's gone. And again, this DHG fiber is amazing. Now, since we have a lot of fiber, you can see I'm not hitting any foam or anything in between us and the wires. You can gently use this tool to help blend your brim into your hat. Or you can just use your needles and just work it in. There is a piece of hay in there. Let's get this all. Today's video is real time. A lot of times I will have cheats. You don't get to see all this, but we're real time today. So your goal here is just to make this all nice and smooth so they can't see your wrap points. And that could take some time. So this is the girl. We're going to give the girl sparkles. So I have a piece of purple sparkly ribbon here. And this will have to be tacked with glue. So she'll end up with the purple sparkly ribbon and a purple flower. But that will be after we get this done. So we have the girl. Oh, one more thing on the girl. Because she doesn't have a beard on the front, I like to tack like she's standing in the grass. I like to tack just some little green locks around her base. Like she's standing in the grass. And then you want to check and make sure that your wool hasn't slipped down your pool noodle or your pipe insulation. Shouldn't have if you tacked it good. So now I'm going to build the boy gnome. I can tell you what's going to happen right here. So you're going to have to do that. What's going to happen is this is going to end up being part of the heart. but I can't really tell you how it's going to be yet until I get the boy gnome built. So that's what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to build the body for the boy gnome, and then I'll come back when I'm putting, it's the same process. When I start to put the color on, I will come back to you. I did all the basics. This is the boy gnome. Just built his hat. I'm going to refresh you. Remember, I found center with both the wires. I stuffed some core wool in there. I wrapped it, and I wrapped it in colors. And this is sombrero color here, and this is Parma Violet. It's one of my favorite colors that I have. I love this color, Parma Violet. What we're going to do now is put his nose and his beard on. So let's put the nose on first. Again, I'm going to grab about that much wool. I'm going to make it, roll it up. Little pillow. I'm going to fold in the edges. You can do a fancier nose. I think I've showed you how to do fancier noses. But for these guys, this nose works just fine. I'm stabbing all around the edges. You don't want to see the folds. You want to just tuck this all in so it's a nice oval. It will disappear with the boy gnome though. So I have some BFL locks that I've washed here. You guys know these are almost always in my store. I'm always washing BFL locks as fast as I can. Got to keep up with y'all. So first we're going to do the beard. I like the beard not to go past too much, past the bottom of him. So I'm going to fold up a little bit, tack it in. The locks I have here are a little bit long. Just tack it in, bring it down. Oh, I don't know what that was, Cannon.
Sorry.
Cannon's watching videos on his phone. So this piece is a little felty. I must not have got those pulled apart, but it has its purpose. So let's just pull it apart. If you're gentle and always pull them apart from the tips, you shouldn't hurt the locks at all. Now, I don't go all the way around his head like I did on the girl. You can, I just don't do it. I just like all his beard to be here up front. That's what we need to concentrate on. You know, and once we get it to a certain, like a little bit past his nose, we're going to add some coming down from up there on his head. That's a nice long one. We'll put that down there. There's some nice long ones. Remember, we're going to go up into the hat brim. Probably one more. Give him that nice beard. But remember, he also has a mustache. There's a couple ways you can do a mustache. So I'm going to find some nice locks. And I have two going this way. I have one going that way. Let me find another fat one. Looks like a good one. So I have 4 locks. And I am just going to find center. Place them under the nose and poke them up into the nose. And then just to give them a nice form, come out that way, past his beard. They kind of help hold his beard down. will get a little teeny bit of red and put it in there, right in here. That will delineate a mouth, but we'll do that in a minute. Oh, I think he needs a little bit more beard area. You know, you can always go back and add if you see something you don't like. So I want this right here to be a little fuller. There we go. So now he has a nice full beard. Just tack them. I like them to be a little loose. Just form that shape however you like it. So there, this guy's looking like a wizard, but okay, put that out of the way, put that out of the way. Where are we at? We are at his brim, the brim of his hat. So just like the girl, that looks like the right amount. And then I'm gonna spread it out a little bit. I don't want it too thin. I'm just spreading it out. I'm going to lay fiber the other way. Do I have any red sitting over there at all?
No.
No. How about in my basket? Just on the floor. I don't think I do. Yep, that'll work. Perfect. Perfect. Remember, we gotta flip it over. Do it from the other side. I just need a smidge. Okay, I'll just get that in a second. Thank you for that. Uh-oh, I have a visitor. So I'm gonna finish this brim just like I did the first one, and we'll come back in a minute. Okay, got the brim on his hat. You guys know the drill. He's gonna have a velvet ribbon on his hat, and I'll attach those in a minute. And then he'll have a little white flower on his. But now we are to the portion. Oh wait, let me put his mouth in. You just need a smidgen of red, smidge, and you're gonna go right between his mustache. You're gonna fill in this little space so he has a mouth. You know me, I like to make him smile. So there, he has a mouth. Okay, so now we are to the tricky part. So you have your two, and we want them to be a heart, right? Okay, so we are going to twist these together. So I have to caution you, I was doing this on the other one, and I messed with the wires so much they broke. So what I want you to do is just fold this over and fold this over this way. Did I bring my pliers over here? Probably not. It doesn't really matter. This is going to disappear. So there is the top of our heart. So now we're going to have them switch sides for a second. It's hard to do this so you guys can see. All right, that's the top of our heart. And we're going to do this. Do this. Push that down. You can see the heart happening, right? And then we're going to twist these guys together. Just like that. Look how cute this is. Oh, these are going to be cute. Now, this is a little bit thicker than I would like it. But I think that if I felt on it for a minute, I'll work on that in a minute. But now let's work on this heart. Okay. So on this side, we want it to be this color. We're just going to take some fiber, wrap it around. We're just filling this in. I love them being twisted together. Let's see what the other side looks like. So we don't want to go into that lavender part. Let's just fill in this little hole. I like these hearts kind of flat, but you can give them depth if you want to and make this round out. I like them kind of flat. And then we need a little bit more lavender. The lavender's going to go this way. You know, there's a point where they connect. You can let the fringe go into the other side. It's up to you to decide how you like that to look. I just think it's kind of fun. I'm going to use the pen tool. I like it to sink in where the twist comes up. And then the same thing will happen over here because the twist comes up right there. Two sides of your heart do not need to be the same. Be really careful when you're working up in here because there's a lot of wire all twisted together there. So you can maintain this top of the hat so that you can see it. You can see the curve. go back around, same thing. Let's get the curve here. Like I said, you can build up that heart if you don't want to make this curve. I like it to look like their hats are connected right there, because they really are. And then you probably want to felt a little bit along here, get this all nice and smooth. But there you have it. I'm going to go off camera for a second and put their little hat decor on. Like I said, I wish this was a little skinnier, and I will work on it for a while and later on and probably make it thinner by felting. So if you're making this, I would make the top up here a little thinner, so get skinnier faster than I did. Or don't put any core wool up past like this point, because my other guys are way skinny. These guys are a little bit hefty, but it's okay. It's super cute. So I'll be right back. Let me go attach those with a little glue, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I went into my craft room and I glued on her sparkly ribbon and her purple flower. That's just a paper flower out of the scrapbooking section at Hobby Lobby. Some little tiny purple bells. They just made her have buttons. And then he got a velvet ribbon with a paper flower. So these guys are done. They're little love gnomes in purple. Like, so if you ask for purple, you'll probably get colors like this. I don't know. It's going to be a surprise what you get when you pick a color. I do wish this was skinnier, but Cannon likes it. I like skinny, like this. He likes the fatter one. So they'll come out how they come out. So I can't wait to see what you guys do with this. Get over there, buddy. So we have 4 little gnomes. Look at, they're going to go on a double date. Thanks for joining me today as we made our cute little love gnomes. And the kit is available, liongate.org. It's also going to be in the description of the video. And remember, there is a link for the contest, the monthly contest, in the description for the video. Make sure you like the video. It really helps us out, and it puts you in the contest too. All right, see you next time.